Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mindset Forge, a podcast where we discuss the best ideas of humanity, the most useful practices, and the most skillful means for developing a more well-adjusted and adaptive mindset. To do this, I will be discussing latest science, ancient philosophy that has stood the test of time, as well as the thoughts and actions of important historical paragons. The goal is to give you tools and practices and ideas for your self-improvement with the goal of moving ahead the entire humanity. Our discussion will focus on the ideas and practices with the most cash value, so practices that are easy to take up but hold enormous potential. And since most of these practices have to do with changing your thinking and attitudes, they are completely free. Call me Laurent Lohel, I will be your host, and welcome aboard. Also, make sure to like Mindset Forge on Spotify and YouTube, as well as check out our Discord server, where you can find links to my book, which you can buy on Amazon to support my another side enterprise of being a fiction author. Without further ado, let's get to the episode. Mindset Forge, Episode 8. Emotions, proven ways to master your feelings in any situation. Everyone wants a happy life without the difficulties or suffering. We create many of the problems we face. No one intentionally creates problems, but we tend to be slaves to emotions like anger, hatred, and attachment. And these emotions are essentially based on misconceived projections about people and things. These emotions are powerful, and we need to find ways of reducing them by eliminating the ignorance that underlies them and applying opposing forces. Dalai Lama in Sydney, Australia in the year 2013. We have already mentioned emotions, mood and affect at several episodes, probably almost all of them, of Mindset Forge. And how could we not when they are not born out of nothing but influenced by the many factors we have discussed already? It is also a conscious decision on my part to give emotions such attention in this podcast, since depression, anxiety, and other mood-related problems have reached epidemic levels in our times, and there seems to be no intervention that shows capability at turning the tide. That is why it is worth repeating the important points for them to sink in. And the good news is that out of all the things discussed thus far, emotions are by far the easiest to change. Changing our bodies takes, at the very least, months of dieting and exercise. Changing our perceptions takes changing our inner state first, and depends on the extent of the required changes on how long that takes. But emotions can be changed almost immediately when one knows how. Really, the necessary procedures and practices are so simple and effective that I am baffled that these mood issues have become such a serious problem. If people knew of these methods, I believe these affective problems could be eliminated completely in just a couple of days, at least in people whose mood-related problems are not severe enough for a diagnosis of depressive disorder or the like to be established. In that case, it would most likely take longer to put their brain chemistry back in order, and it has also been shown that depression causes loss in the amount of neurons, and it would take time for them to rebuild. Let us begin by listing all the tools and practices you can use to regulate your mood on command. If you haven't listened to episode 5 yet, I strongly recommend you do so, as it contains valuable information and practical tips on using your body to improve different aspects of well-being and performance. In this episode, we'll return to the examples given in episode 5 and explore new ways to use embodiment for emotional benefit. To recap some of the key points from episode 5. Adopting an upright posture improves mood, increases positive affect, and reduces fatigue, while smiling has been shown to boost mood and even help us recover from stress more quickly. Striking a heroic power pose can also be helpful in boosting mood and confidence. These are powerful tools at your disposal, and as we continue to explore embodiment theory, you'll discover even more ways to manage your emotions using your body. Going around with your head held high and confident smile will certainly not hurt, so why not try it? You don't have to take anything I say at face value, no matter how many scientific papers I cite. Just try this. Close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths while smiling. And make sure to relax your shoulders, jaw, and other muscles. You will most likely feel some change immediately, a sense of pleasant calm. This state can be yours whenever you so command. One aspect of embodiment we haven't discussed yet is how specific body movements and gestures can influence our emotions. For instance, research by Koch, Fuß and Summa in the year 2014 has shown that different types of moving about can affect one's mood. They found that when people were told to move like they were floating or drifting, so imagining lightness, they reported more positive emotions, while a group moving like they were pulling or pushing a heavy object reported more negative feelings. Just imagining these situations with no movement had no effect, so the authors conclude it was the types of movement that produced this effect. You can experiment with different gestures and movements to see which ones evoke particular emotions in you, then use this knowledge to your advantage when you need an emotional boost or calming effect. Also, just by being mindful of your walking, you can generally bring some lightness into your step, which in turn will improve your affect. It is also well known fact that engaging in physical activity in general improves one's mood, thanks to the release of endorphins that is stimulated by exercise. So staying indoors, moping in bed all day when you feel blue is unlikely to help. When doing exercise for any reason, based on everything we have discussed, it is best to see the exercise as something positive instead of something one has to do, as this is comparable to seeing it as light versus heavy burden, like in the previous study. Exercising mental flexibility is another example of cognitive reappraisal, where you replace a negative association with a positive one, and in my experience is likely the single most effective way to improve one's mood, reduce stress, and make the outside world appear as a generally more pleasant place. Another way we can influence our mood through our physical bodies is using our diet. It has been shown that Mediterranean diet is beneficial and efficient for the symptoms of depressive disorder, proving more effective than social support and a befriending intervention. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher, maintained that a major part of our personality is based on our diets, and suggested that, for example, German people are the way they are because of heavy meals. It seems that there is at least a kernel of truth in his observation, and if you pay attention to your inner state, you will easily notice how different stages of satiety affect your general being. We mentioned gut microbiota in a previous episode, but just to remind you, it has been shown to have significant influence on our central nervous system via so-called gut-brain axis. Supplementation with probiotics, so compounds that include beneficial microorganisms and deliver them to the gut, have been extensively studied for their mood-related effects. In a study on older adults, they were proved to improve stress status, cognitive flexibility, and decreased the amount of bacteria linked to system-wide inflammation of the body and brain, and increased the amount of brain-derived neurotropic factor, a neuromodulator essential for neuroplasticity. In a study population of badminton players, 6 weeks supplementation with Lactobacillus casei shirota improved stress, anxiety, as well as aerobic capacity. The interest in the psychological effects of pre, and symbiotics has led to lots of research, and these compounds are sometimes referred to as psychobiotics when used to treat and alleviate psychological issues. Probiotics have proven the most effective, showing promising results in mood disorders, anxiety, substance use disorders, neurocognitive impairments such as cognitive impairment, which is a prequel of dementia, while symbiotics have improved symptoms of attention deficit. Without going too deep into nutritional information, as diet and nutrition is sure to get its own episode in the future, it has also been found that, for example, vitamin B supplementation, as well as supplements with L-lysine and L-arginine, have been linked to benefits for depressive symptoms and anxiety. Overuse of alcohol is strongly linked to issues of mood and anxiety and should be avoided. It has also been shown that a diet rich in protein and fruits and vegetables, as well as avoiding dehydration by consuming enough water, are linked with improving mood and preventing depressive states. Caffeine and high-quality chocolate are noted to be mood boosters, but their consumption should be limited. On the other hand, obesity and diets rich in high saturated fats have been linked to depression, and fat intake appears to have an acute effect of leading to symptoms of anxiety and depression. The street goes both ways, however, as depression has been shown to be linked to people engaging in poorer diets as well as gaining weight, which seems to further solidify the connection between mood, diet, and body composition. Furthermore, specific foods and nutrients have been associated with lower mood or a negative impact on mental health. While causality can be difficult to establish, some studies have found associations between certain foods or nutrients and mood alterations. Here are a few examples. Sugar. Consumption of added sugars has been linked to lower mood and a higher risk of depression. Trans fats. Artificial trans fats, which are found in hydrogenated vegetable oils, have been associated with an increased risk of depression. A study by Sanchez-Villegas et al. From the year 2011 found a higher risk of depression among participants who consumed higher amounts of trans fats. Refined carbohydrates. Diets high in refined carbohydrates such as white bread, pastries, and sugary drinks have been linked to higher risk of depression in postmenopausal women, according to a study by Gangwich et al. From the year 2015. Processed foods. Consumption of processed foods, including fast foods, fried foods, and processed meats, has been associated with an increased risk of depression. A study found that participants with higher consumption of ultra-processed foods were more likely to develop depression over a 5-year period. It is important to note that while these studies demonstrate associations between specific foods or nutrients and mood alterations, establishing causality is complex, and other factors such as overall diet, lifestyle, and genetic predispositions may also play a role. However, the findings do suggest that reducing the consumption of added sugars, trans fats, refined carbohydrates, and ultra-processed foods may have a positive impact on mood and emotional well-being. Mindfulness and meditation is an area dear to my heart, and I will dedicate the following segment for them exclusively. By understanding how these practices influence our brain and emotions, we can harness their power to create a more balanced, positive life experience. Mindfulness refers to the practice of paying attention to the present moment non-judgmentally, while meditation is a structured, focused technique for achieving a state of mental calm and awareness. While they may seem similar, meditation can be considered a subset of mindfulness practice. That being said, both mindfulness and meditation have been shown to provide numerous emotional benefits. Research has found that practicing mindfulness can lead to reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety, as well as increased positive affect and overall life satisfaction. One meta-analysis by Khoury et al. From the year 2013 demonstrated that mindfulness-based interventions are effective in treating various psychological problems, including mood and anxiety disorders. Meditation has been shown to have similar benefits, such as reducing negative emotions and increasing positive ones. A study by Goyal et al. Found that mindfulness meditation programs effectively improved anxiety and depression in a variety of clinical populations. Both mindfulness and meditation practices have been linked to changes in brain structure and function, particularly in areas related to emotion regulation. A study by Hölzel et al. Showed that participants who underwent an 8-week mindfulness-based meditation program experienced volume change in brain regions involved in learning and memory processes, emotion regulation, self-referential processing, and perspective taking. One of the mechanisms through which mindfulness and meditation may exert their emotional benefits is by increasing self-awareness and promoting a non-judgmental attitude towards one's thoughts and feelings. This allows individuals to observe their emotions without being overwhelmed by them, fostering emotional resilience and balance. Furthermore, mindfulness and meditation practices have been found to enhance activity in the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in executive function and emotional regulation. This increased activity may help to down-regulate negative emotional responses and promote more adaptive coping strategies. In summary, both mindfulness and meditation offer numerous emotional and affective benefits, including improved mood, reduced anxiety and depression, and increased stress resilience. By engaging in these practices, individuals can experience changes in brain structure and function, particularly in areas related to emotion regulation, such as the amygdala and prefrontal cortex. One study by Tang et al. Found that meditation can lead to increased connectivity between the anterior cingulate cortex, which plays a role in self-regulation and cognitive control, and the default mode network, which is responsible for mind-wandering and self-referential thinking. This enhanced connectivity may contribute to the positive emotional effects of meditation. Another mechanism by which mindfulness and meditation can enhance mood and emotional well-being is through promoting a sense of self-compassion. Researchers Neff and Gömer suggest that mindfulness practices foster self-compassion by helping individuals develop a kinder, more accepting attitude towards their thoughts and feelings, leading to improved emotional resilience. Incorporating mindfulness and meditation practices into your daily routine can have lasting effects on emotional well-being, even if practiced for just a few minutes each day. As you cultivate these skills, you may find yourself better equipped to navigate life's challenges and greater emotional resilience, balance, and positivity. To summarize, mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools that can help improve mood, increase stress resilience, and enhance emotional well-being. Through their impact on brain structure and function, these practices promote self-awareness, emotional regulation, and self-compassion, ultimately fostering a more balanced, positive emotional experience. As you integrate mindfulness and meditation into your life, you may find yourself better equipped to handle the ups and downs with grace and resilience. In my personal experience, when I started practicing mindfulness, the stress I felt at my work diminished immediately and is currently practically non-existent. It is marvelous how much can be achieved when one travels down the path long enough. The work that once used to cause me stress is now filled with meaningful moments, humor, and chances for self-improvement. Thanks to changing my mindset and perspective on things, my daily experience has been transformed, and so can yours. I would just like to add that I'm not alone in finding mindfulness to be an enormous benefit in my work as a healthcare professional. According to a systematic review, the practice of mindfulness has been shown to improve emotional intelligence, and the effects of this has been studied specifically amongst healthcare professionals. I'll just quote from a systematic review on the subject. A quote: "Emotional intelligence has been shown to positively influence healthcare professionals' bio-psychosocial welfare, increasing the individual resilience, the perception of social support, empathy, job performance and satisfaction, and reducing stress. The ability to manage emotions is a fundamental skill that should be developed by healthcare professionals, as their work environment often entails a significant emotional burden. Specifically, there is evidence linking emotional intelligence with effective clinical decision-making and the occurrence or reduction of stress and burnout in a work environment, work engagement, and by extension with the institution's general productivity, turnover rate, work absenteeism, and patient satisfaction. Moreover, there is ample evidence showing that benefits of healthcare professionals' emotional intelligence while undertaking daily tasks and on the physical and emotional care patients receive. Emotional intelligence has been identified as a predictor of professional success. Similarly, patients also perceive that professionals with emotional intelligence provide higher quality care. End quote. I wholeheartedly agree with everything said in this quotation. The authors note that they consider emotional intelligence as something that can be trained, and that mindfulness-based training proved very effective in training these skills. I would like to point out that stress is not exclusive to healthcare, so people in all fields can certainly benefit from these results. Practiced constantly, mindfulness combined with other tools of emotional control can be something almost like a superpower, making you impervious to the stresses of daily life, so they just bounce off you like bullets of Superman. And with training, you learn to find the positive side in every situation, so you can turn situations that used to drain you into a source of energy, such as when you consider how a demanding situation is an excellent way to hone your skills of self-control and attention and thereby allow neuroplasticity to work its magic and make you even more relaxed and in control in the future. Now let's talk about another essential aspect of our well-being that has a significant impact on our mood and emotions: sleep. Sleep plays a crucial role in our mental health, and lack of sleep or poor quality sleep can contribute to mood disturbances, stress, depression, and anxiety. Numerous studies have found that sleep deprivation can lead to mood changes, increased irritability, and heightened stress levels. Chronic sleep disturbances have been strongly associated with the development of depressive and anxiety disorders. A lack of sleep also impairs our ability to cope with negative emotions and stressful situations. On the flip side, getting adequate sleep can help improve mood, reduce stress, and lower the risk of developing mental health disorders. In conclusion, sleep is a vital component of our emotional well-being. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene, such as maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, creating a relaxing bedtime routine, and ensuring a comfortable sleep environment can have a positive impact on mood, stress levels, and overall mental health. Don't underestimate the power of a good night's sleep when it comes to managing your emotions. We have previously discussed how our mood changes the way we perceive things. A depressed person sees the world as a darker place, literally, as their capability of recognizing happy expressions is diminished. So everyone else looks more depressed in their eyes as well. Staying mindful the way our perception of the outer world alters due to our inner state is actually of great benefit. For example, when I notice that I start to perceive someone as annoying or a situation as stressful or some undertaking as too taxing, instead of mindlessly going along with these feelings, it alerts me to the fact that there is something amiss in me, inside. Almost always this is associated with a lack of mindfulness. Then, using the many tools we have discussed, I take command of myself and my inner state, taking a deep breath, smiling and improving my posture, relaxing tensed muscles, then using cognitive reappraisal to see the situation in a different, more adaptive way. Just doing this practically always helps, and often I start seeing the humor in the situation, whatever it is. The root of the problem seems to always be that I have taken the situation and myself too seriously, and the decrease in seriousness is always helpful. This is the way I most often use my perception in mood regulation and improvement. Also, when I notice something challenging my calm and cheerful mental state, I ask myself, is this really worth losing my mental balance over? And the answer is invariably no. Mindfulness helps one notice these sensations and perceptions and select a proper response instead of just mindlessly going along with the emotional impulses. A concept related to this is interoceptive awareness. Interoceptive awareness refers to our ability to sense and be aware of our internal bodily sensations such as heart rate, breath, and hunger. This type of awareness plays a crucial role in our emotional well-being as it helps us understand and regulate our emotions more effectively. Interoceptive awareness has been linked to improved emotional regulation and well-being. It has also been shown that interoceptive awareness is positively correlated with resilience and the ability to cope with stress. Enhancing interoceptive awareness can help you become more in tune with your emotions and better equipped to manage them. To use interoceptive awareness for emotional benefit, you can practice mindfulness exercises that focus on your internal bodily sensations, such as body scans or mindful breathing. Training and improving interoceptive awareness can be achieved through regular mindfulness practices and activities that require attention to internal sensations. Mindfulness meditation, yoga, and Tai Chi are examples of activities that promote interoceptive awareness. In conclusion, interoceptive awareness is a vital aspect of emotional well-being. By cultivating greater awareness of your internal bodily sensations, you can better understand and regulate your emotions. Engaging in mindfulness practices and activities that enhance interoceptive awareness can help you reap the emotional benefits of this essential skill. In the episode on mental objects, we discussed visualization at length and found it to have influence on mood, physical performance, and so on. Let us return to those emotional benefits. Mental imagery or visualization is a powerful tool for enhancing mood and emotional well-being. And this technique involves creating vivid mental images of positive experiences or outcomes, which can help shift your focus away from negative thoughts and emotions. Research has shown that mental imagery can effectively improve mood and reduce stress. A study found that mental imagery-based cognitive therapy significantly reduced negative emotions and increased positive emotions in participants. And another study showed that using positive mental imagery as a coping strategy helped reduce anxiety and stress. To use mental imagery for improving mood, try the following practice when you are feeling stressed or down. Find a quiet, comfortable place where you can sit or lie down without distractions. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, focusing on your breath as you inhale and exhale. Think of a positive experience or a place that brings you joy, peace, and relaxation. It can be a memory, an imagined scenario, or a combination of both. To begin to create a vivid mental image of this experience or place, incorporating as many sensory details as possible. For example, envision the colors, sounds, smells, textures, and even tastes associated with the scene. Immerse yourself in this mental image for several minutes, allowing any negative thoughts or emotions to fade away as you focus on the positive sensations and emotions associated with the visualization. When you feel ready, gradually bring your attention back to the present moment and open your eyes. Also, when you find yourself thinking about the future, and a negative image or expectation enters your mind's eye without being called, you can just as easily generate a positive mental image of you succeeding or things going your way. The negative image is just a fleeting thought, not real in the least, so there's no reason to believe in it, while positive, adaptive images that keep you working towards your goals are certainly more beneficial and can be willingly believed in as part of your striving for your goals. Incorporating mental imagery and visualization into your daily routine can help improve your mood and reduce stress. By regularly engaging in this practice, you can develop a valuable skill for managing negative emotions and enhancing your emotional well-being. In a previous episode, we mentioned how visualization had proven more effective than verbal engagement in similar contents when it comes to mood. However, that does not mean self-talk has no effect. Far from it. That is why we will discuss it next. Self-talk, the internal dialogue we have with ourselves, can have a significant impact on our mood and emotional well-being. Both positive and negative self-talk play crucial roles in how we experience and manage our emotions. Negative self-talk characterized by self-critical, pessimistic, or self-defeating thoughts has been linked to depression and anxiety. On the other hand, positive self-talk, which involves constructive, optimistic, and self-encouraging thoughts, can help improve mood and decrease stress. To manage your mood through self-talk, consider the following tips. Be aware of your internal dialogue. Pay attention to the thoughts running through your mind. Recognize when negative self-talk is taking over and try to shift your focus toward more positive thoughts. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, especially during difficult moments. Remember that everyone makes mistakes and experiences setbacks, and it's essential to be gentle with yourself in such situations. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones. When you notice negative thoughts, make an effort to replace them with more optimistic, supportive statements. For example, instead of thinking, "I'll never be able to do this," try telling yourself, "I'll do my best and learn from the experience." Use affirmations. Regularly repeating positive affirmations can help change your thought patterns and improve your mood. Choose a few simple positive statements that resonate with you, such as "I am strong and capable," or "I am worthy of love and success," and repeat them to yourself throughout the day. Also, seek professional help if needed. If you are struggling with persistent negative self-talk and mood difficulties, consider seeking help from a mental health professional such as a therapist or a counselor who can provide guidance and support tailored to your needs. By practicing positive self-talk and being more aware of your internal dialogue, you can significantly influence your mood and overall emotional well-being. Let us now look into some specific emotions and see what would be an adaptive way to think about them. We've discussed depressive mood to death by this point, so let's skip that one and instead focus on anger. Some people seem to be angry all the time or get angry and heated for minuscule things. The reason for this is probably that anger provides one with energy as well as a sense of justification or being in the right, as in, "I'm the one who has been hurt here and I have the right to protect myself or avenge this wrongdoing on my person." One might say that getting angry is the right thing to do in the face of injustice, but when one looks more deeply into the subject, it is clear that the drawbacks of anger far outweighed the benefits. A study showed that hostility, anger, and aggressiveness could cause coronary heart disease, diabetes, to bulimic behaviors and road accidents, and strongly affect interpersonal relationships. In Buddhism, anger is considered to be one of the so-called three poisons, mental states that are ruinous for one's mind. There is also a well-known parable stating that holding on to anger is like carrying a glowing ember with the intention of throwing it at someone else. The person carrying it is the one who gets burned. So even when one's anger feels justified, it is better to let it go and find other ways to protect yourself and other things you are passionate about, because if only reason driving you to stand up for the cause is an angry feeling, that cause might not have all that much going on for it. A classic example of this would be an old-timey angry mob with pitchforks and torches. An angered crowd that has ceased to think can be influenced and controlled, and it is no coincidence how many politicians try to evoke fear and anger in their voters by telling them what horrible things would happen if they vote for the opposing candidate instead of themselves. While anger is considered to be good in some contexts, Stress is generally thought as negative in every circumstance. But is this so? Think of physical training. You become stronger by stressing your muscles with weight. You become faster by pushing your limits at the track. And testing one's limits is necessary for self-growth and can easily bring along with it some stress, but this is not then perceived as negative. In fact, research has shown that just by changing one's mindset about stress mitigates anxiety and depression that would follow if one considered stress to be negative. Just like everything else, stress can be cognitive reappraised away or into something positive, just like we just reappraised the benefits of anger away since they are illusory. Anger, chronic stress, and another negative emotion or perception these days is a sense of victimhood, which often coexist and feed each other. These negative emotions bring harm on the people who carry them around and certainly don't do any good to society or the world in general either. What is the antidote to these maladaptive emotions? The answer can be inferred with logic. All these have at their base the sense that one has experienced something bad that they don't deserve, be it a negative event that has happened or a positive event that has not happened. So at the core there is a sense of discontent over how things have turned out. What is the opposite of this situation? The answer is a sense of gratitude. By cultivating gratitude as a general outlook on life, and things cease to be a burden and instead become something that one can be, grateful about. Cultivating gratitude can have powerful effects on our emotional well-being and overall mental health. Gratitude practices have been widely studied and the benefits are supported by an array of scientific research. Gratitude is defined as a positive emotion that arises when we appreciate something or someone in our lives. It encourages us to acknowledge the good things we have, regardless of whether they are material possessions or meaningful relationships. Gratitude practices involve consciously cultivating this positive emotion in our daily lives, often through specific exercises and techniques. Some of the benefits of gratitude practices demonstrated in scientific studies include improved well-being and happiness. One study showed that participants who maintained a gratitude journal where they recorded things they were grateful for reported significantly higher levels of well-being and happiness than those who did not. This suggests that engaging in gratitude practices can have a positive impact on our emotional well-being. A meta-analysis found that gratitude interventions had a small but significant effect on reducing symptoms of depression and anxiety. By focusing on the positive aspects of our lives, gratitude practices can help alleviate negative emotions and improve mental health. Also, participants who engaged in gratitude practices reported improved sleep quality, longer sleep duration, and less difficulty falling asleep. This suggests that gratitude may contribute to better sleep by reducing negative thoughts and fostering positive emotions before bedtime. It has also been found that people who regularly practiced gratitude were better able to cope with stress and experienced less negative effects from stressful events. Cultivating gratitude may help build resilience, allowing individuals to better handle life's challenges. It has also been revealed that expressing gratitude to others can strengthen social bonds and improve relationship satisfaction. Gratitude practices can foster feelings of connectedness and contribute to healthier interpersonal relationships. To incorporate gratitude practices into your daily routine, consider starting a gratitude journal, expressing gratitude to others through verbal or written communication, or simply taking a few moments each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for. I generally do a short gratitude meditation before going to sleep, which I find relaxes me and makes me quite cheerful, which benefits sleep as well. By regularly practicing gratitude, you can enhance your mood, improve your mental health, and experience the numerous benefits it has to offer. The Buddhists, who are probably the happiest people around, are masters at gratitude. From them I have learned that there are at every moment infinite things to be grateful about, but we just don't notice them due to mindlessness. For example, we have eyes to see this beautiful world, legs to walk, tongue to taste food, chances of self-growth, friends, parents, different kinds of beautiful weather, and so on and so on. One can reappraise anything, and I mean anything, into something to feel grateful about. Friedrich Nietzsche also talked about the concept of amor fati, which means the love of fate, meaning that one should generally feel love over their situation. Whatever it is, sounds to me the core of this idea is the same, despite the different terminology. Even when his knowledge of Buddhism was lacking, so he actually saw it as a negative, tired religion. In Buddhism, the source of our problems can be said to be that we don't recognize our emotions as just figments of our minds and grasp for positive feelings while pushing away negative feelings. Hopefully, this episode has served to make you reconsider different emotions, and anyone will surely benefit if, instead of just mindlessly reacting to whatever feelings puff up in their minds, they first consider it mindfully and then decide what to do, and if the situation really is worth losing one's mental balance over. The Dalai Lama has said that an uncontrolled mind is the source of our problems and can be even considered an enemy. And with the tools presented in this episode, you have a whole arsenal of weapons to fight this enemy with. Most people seem unable to control their feelings and are instead led by them. The source of this is their mindlessness and not seeing beyond their emotions as they cloud their vision. Most don't seem to be aware of a single way to control their emotions, when this episode has proven that there are almost too many, and many were also left out. Thank you for listening, and I wish you luck on your path into a more relaxed and joyful emotional state, and into a more grateful life. And thank you for listening to this episode of the Mindset Forge. I hope you found it informative and the lessons and practices spoken in it relevant to your situation. I also hope you found it as entertaining to listen as I found making it to be. If you found it beneficial, be sure to follow Mindset Forge on Spotify as well as on YouTube, where you can also give us a thumbs up. Also, make sure to check out our Discord server for further discussion, where you can contact me directly. Links in description and channel information. There you can also find the link to my book, which I have self-published on Amazon, called Death Drive. If speculative dystopian near-future sci-fi sounds like a cup of tea, getting the book is a great way to support my work as an author. So have a nice day and memento cerebrum formare.